I like to hear from real people about how they implement Christian values and practices in business that successfully reaches the employees and builds awesome Christian teams. You would have experience with that. You're pretty involved in business too, right? Especially on the people side, you get to the employees.
It depends.
Say that first part of the question again.
I'd like to hear from real people. I don't know why. I don't know who fake people are, but about how they implement Christian values and practices in business.
Well, rather than just hypothetical, right? You could read a book about it and you're like, oh, that's nice, but that's not how somebody's actually necessarily doing it.
Or the
life,
idea
right?
that,
first you have to define what Christian values and practices in business are. Like, what is that? For me, well, first of all, it's just like obeying the commandments. Like, don't lie, be honest.
Well, I mean, treating
other people,
treating people well, treating people fairly, paying people what they're worth, not trying to like shortchange people. I mean, really, I think that Gary does that pretty well, like valuing employees pretty highly.
Right. You have to really think about the purpose of the business or why you're doing the business, because if you're just doing it for profit, it's going to be really hard to implement certain Christian values. But if you're doing it because you believe this is God has asked you to manage this for the good of the product and the people there, that it'll be a lot easier to do it that way.
Yeah. I'm remembering part of what Rob Best said in that last podcast. Didn't get all the way through it, but I listened to part of it this morning. I was driving, and he talked about just how he'd been at the fire hall for 20 years and had never shared the gospel. And I think that in our circles, people probably have some uncomfortableness. Now, granted, a lot of people are going to church and they're not Christians. So, I mean, that's a different camp. Of course, you're not going to be sharing your faith then. You're going to just hope that nobody asks you because you're going to answer awkwardly. Yes. That makes sense. But, even for me, it's like, hey, I think often I would be timid to be vocal for the sense of I don't want to be labeled a Christian businessman because I know I'm not perfect and I wouldn't want to wear that. Like, I wouldn't want to be a negative witness. So I'd just be scared to identify that way. But I think we probably, as business owners, even in any business, like very small, if you were just a self-employed entrepreneur, people could say to you, hey, how come you treated me this way? How come that was awesome. Why did you do that? Or you go above and beyond and they praise you, and you could just be like, hey, thanks a lot for the compliment. I'm a Christian and I'm just trying to really do the right thing and treat you really well and trying to be generous. And
I always find that bit like,
is that too awkward?
I find it awkward.
Okay,
I don't know
why is that?
Well, I don't know. I think it's my problem.
When
I
someone says
don't know
thank
if
you?
it is. Where you would say why you were doing it because you're a Christian.
And that's what people talk about with foster care. Like, oh, I want to find some way that I can comfortably say, like, oh, it's like I do it all to the glory of God. Like, it's not me, it's Christ through me. But I find it so awkward to just say it, actually. But it's also the way that I could actually share my faith while I'm why I do what I do. But I think it's my problem. I think it's just awkward because I never say it, not because I...
Yeah, I think it's definitely a practice thing. Like, if the first time you go to the gym, it's going to suck too, and you're not going to be awkward. You're not going to know how to hold the dumbbells. Like, a little bit of just communicating it over and over makes it get easier.
Sorry, I thought you were going to talk about how you're going to share the gospel at the gym, and I was waiting to hear how you bring that up.
No, but I think I think God puts people in our lives that might be the only Christian they run into, right? And I think that's just reality. And so if we could just say, hey, I have something that's the most important thing to me. It's my faith, and I'd love to just share with you. I'm not going to push it on you. Can I just share? And for 5 minutes, and people will listen. People are curious. Like,
I've often thought of getting into ministry in a more employed way, like just in a way more full-time way. Yeah. And anytime I've ever brought it up with people or even processed it myself, it's like you have way more chances to actually minister.
No, right now where you are,
just where you are with all the people you interact with, and
as far as this question, like, I think the basis is your your work environment and how you care for your people. Like, that's the basis for instituting that.
What does that practically look like, caring for your people? Like, because it says that successfully reaches the employees and builds awesome Christian teams. Like, what are practical things that you could do, or is it just? So it's not just talking to people. Like, it's.
I think it starts a lot with money if you can afford to. And I think even if you couldn't afford to, it would start with, like, everybody's looking for affirmation. Everybody, even people that seem like ice people. It's fast, like something that's really struck me in the last week, even because I've gotten to know some people at a deeper level. And every time it's the same thought I have when I leave those meetings. It's like, man, people are more broken than you realize.
Yeah.
No matter how smiling and put together families look, it's all a facade as a general rule. Well, I'm not saying they're not happy. I'm just saying everybody has crap.
That's right.
And I think that it's like, even in our family, like, it's beautiful, but it's messy. And so it's like, I'm fine with it, and it's carnage, and that's okay. But I think the idea of, like, with your employees, it would be like, they're all struggling in their personal lives at times. They all need a lot of encouragement, and I'm not good at it. Like, I'm better than I used to be, Marie would say, but I'm like, still not. I want to be a great encourager.
You're 100% better of an encourager. Like, you,
in the past, I would have just assumed, hey, don't knock yourself over, patting yourself on the back. Like
you.
I was aware, because that's how you're treating yourself.
I think you've worked pretty hard at, like, and I mean, I think I pushed you to that somewhat, but, like, you would come home and talk about how awesome so-and-so was, that, and all the things that they did, and I just can't believe how fortunate I am to have them as an employee. I'm like, tell them that. Like,
did you tell them? Yeah.
Did you tell them that? Like, I appreciate knowing that too, but, and then even where you've just, like, picked up your phone and text them that, and it's, I don't know, that also builds your employee satisfaction, and then your employees want to go the extra mile for you too, and when they feel good, then they're also good to each other. And I mean, I think it's a constant effort to shape those relationships, even between employees, like in a business, and model good relationship to, like, build that morale. Like, I don't think that it's like you do this one thing and now it's always good. Like, I think it's
also not a doing thing as much as it is a state of the heart thing, because, like, you being more encouraging isn't because you're trying harder to be more encouraging. I think it's because you've forgiven yourself more of your own failures and have more grace for yourself, and then it's way easier to have grace for others and actually see them more as people rather than something that just needs to produce.
Right. And also, when somebody is having a rough day for whatever reason, you're able to also not take things personally. Like, you're not like, oh, they hate their job or whatever. Like,
that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like, you can depersonalize it a little bit, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird in business, because I think, and I'm experiencing it in certain areas, in certain businesses, where, like, people do have stuff that can become very onerous as employees. And so there's this time where you can be really gracious, and maybe it's allowing things that you're like, oh man, this is really inconvenient to our business. That would be that's the gospel, right?
Yeah.
Just a lot of grace. Other times, I think that, similar to what Proverbs would say, God disciplines those he loves. Sometimes with our employees, we're going to be like, hey, we're drawing a line in the sand, and for their betterment, they're going to either get let go and I think those things are hard to figure out, at least for me. I think some people have way more clarity than I do.
Well, I think it's really, like, the value of being honest, right? Because if you're conflict avoiding your employee because they aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, but you don't actually tell them clearly what they need to be doing.
That would be the biggest sin of most entrepreneurs.
That's right.
Because they're people pleasers in themselves, or they're always trying to keep peace.
That's right.
And then the employees end up going to be really hurt, because they're going to come back at the end and say, you never gave clear guidelines. It was I could tell you weren't totally happy, but you never said, hey, this is what you need to do better.
Exactly.
Have regular meetings. Like, I struggle having enough meetings. But
so you're not
that's
being
how parenting is too, by the way. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
Gotta give clear guidelines, so then kids like, and then
that's why
encourage, and
it's just a disaster.
Like, if you don't have clear guidelines, then it's hard to correct, because.
And I'm realizing it because I think I was probably affected more than I realized about, like, wanting to keep my kids happy and not actually doing clear guidelines and giving in too much. And the more I realized that that's actually unloving to do. And, like, clear guidelines and clarity is actually loving and honest. And so I think honesty is a big Christian value that gets just accepted as, like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. But you need it. That's not being kind to your employees, because if they can get better, right? If you tell them, coach them.
Yeah, I would look at it like, you have a real witness if your employees aren't Christian. And so we have some of that too, where, like, hey, people don't all fit in that box. And then, like, boy, are you gracious? Are you, like, then I would really say it matters even more.
Yeah.
Maybe some people would disagree with me on that. Maybe they would say your Christian brothers and sisters, you should look after better. But I just think, boy, it's an important witness to have, because they will be the only real close up personal example that they would see. And I think for us, it's like, do your employees think that you only care about money? And it would be very easy for a lot of employees to look at their bosses and think the profit line is the most important thing. And I hear it because I do interviews with people. I hear what people are, especially as you get to be a larger company. We're hiring at our shop. We have these, mechanics come in and they work at a dealership where it's like, hey, the owner's nowhere in this town. And it's very much number driven. And there again, those parameters are not wrong. And there should be guidelines and people should have expectations. And I think holding on to both of those is in a healthy balance. Is kind of like, how do you do that? And
like what you said about like profits over like that we do the work for the kingdom or whatever, that's great too. But that we've also worked towards like, and I think Randy Alcorn talks about it in the Money, Possessions, and Eternity book about like paying your business should give, and like we should be generous through the income that our businesses make, but also pay our employees well enough that they can also give, especially right, like that are
that's been the biggest piece for me. And I still haven't.
We don't have to just like, oh well, we're gonna pay our employees fine, but we're giving all this money away. Well, we can pay our employees better, and let them be generous.
Do whatever they're going to do.
That works when you're you're aligned with your employees in that way, right? But it's that's
I've heard of companies giving like two bonuses to their employees at Christmas, and one bonus they have to give away to somebody, so they get like a big cash bonus, and then they share afterwards. Sometimes they don't share afterwards, and they just say, "Hey, this is what I want you to do with it. You can give it to whoever you want." And I thought that was kind of a cool model. I think
you can't mandate giving. Like you're not mandating somebody's heart to change, right? Like that's
of course not. But it's still
a nice thought.
I like the idea of it, but I can understand why you don't agree with that.
Yeah. Like I just think it's if you're I don't know, generous people that have a heart that want to be generous are going to be convicted and give from that anyways, and people that aren't. Be like, okay, sure, here, send it here. Like it's water flowing through their hands. Like it just doesn't.
Paul Weemy's podcast, he throws the check back through the donor's window, and I think that is like, I'm not saying God's doing with us with that when we're just checking the box and writing a check to a church or having automatic. In my mind, it's the money coming out automatically. Like we have money coming out automatically for a long time now, and I really question whether that's the right thing to do. I think.
Because you're not actively
giving. Like, do I think about it? It's like, oh, it's the second Sunday of the month. Like this amount's coming out. Like you don't think of that.
Back to the like caring for your employees thing. If you think about like the best salespeople, they care for their customers apart from just like the product they're trying to sell them. Like they care about the person. They get to know their kids or whatever else like that. They build a relationship with them because they care about the person, and that's what a lot of the best salespeople do, and it's a genuine care. So, but if you also,
I'm so cynical of that. I don't.
Why is that, me?
Like
if somebody sells me something, and now they're like trying to get all like cozy into what's going on in my life, I'm skeptical of the sincerity of
for me, I just want the vacuum cheaper. You don't care about my kids. Just give me a good deal on the vacuum.
It depends what you're buying, but like I definitely have relationships with lots of people still from the firearms community, and I'm not selling them anything anymore, and because you built real relationships with them. Maybe
Marie
thinks you have an angle still. She's judging you.
No, I'm not at all. I just think like we don't have. But like real estate agents would do this, right? But if a real estate agent is doing that, like I'm like, you don't actually care.
Yeah, a lot of people do it because you're supposed to do it, and it's a good sales way, and then it's not real. It has to be genuine from the heart when you actually care about the person.
Yeah, but I think that is rarer than what actually happens, where like you're just like stop for coffee at someone's farm to like get to know them and build some relationship. And not that it's not a genuine conversation and you're actually genuine getting to know them, but you're not stopping there because you want to visit with them. But you can say that. You're like, hey,
coffee. I'm here to tell you about my hay, and you can get to know the person. You can tell them both. Like
I always went to go get free cigarettes from all the guys that still smoked, right? Whenever I quit. Well, I'm stopping here one more time because I know I can hack a dart off this guy. Good.
Anyway, where I was going with that is like the customers appreciate that, right? Like if it's not just cold-hearted thing. Well, same with your employees. If you get to know them and their goals and like where they want to go, like Chick-fil-A is one of the most successful fast food chains in the U.S. And one of the things they do is they ask their employees when they get hired is, what are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Like, what would you want to get to in life? And they want to be a doctor or this or whatever that, and then they help them get there.
Right.
Like that. Like
But that's more employees, like caring for your employees is way more genuine to me than caring for somebody that you're trying to get to like buy their next house with you.
Fair enough. But I'm saying a lot of people don't. They have no relationship with their employees and they just show up to work and they don't actually ask them like what's going on in their world and know them. But I think you do, Gary, right? Like you get to know your employees pretty well.
Yeah, I think that even can cause problems too. I think
it can cause problems. That's not the problem. Isn't not causing problems. It's actually being a caring boss. Like for sure, there's going to be problems.
Yeah, I mean, when we got married, everybody in my wedding party was an employee, right? So I don't know if that just meant I didn't have any other friends, or I had to pay everybody to be my friends, or I'm not sure what that meant. But I mean, I just think that my whole life has always revolved around business, and so that just naturally people that I look at it now where most of the people in my life I'm doing business with, I've just been blessed that they're friends and they're great people, and they're people like even my key people are like some of the people I respect the most in the whole world, which is really special. Like, and I think that I look at always from the perspective of life is short, and if you don't, I never work a day in my life, and so I think that. You would be like, yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's nice for you.
Nice for you. Which is fair, because I mean, parenting is not like that. Like parenting is really special too, but it's way more grindy, and you don't.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm in a good frame of mind today. So
today it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday.
This is what social media does. It gives you just blips of time. It's like just being on this podcast, right? People can start to build an image of you.
Yeah, it's so
can be
crazy.
Totally off.
No.
I'm just like, you didn't know what I talked about.
Wrong time of the month, and it's.
Yeah, or like this EMDR stuff. I've done it like 5 or 6 weeks in a row, and it's just kicking my ass.
Okay.
That's where you hold the things in your hands?
No, you do. I watch eye movement for 45
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah.
And
rewire the circuits.
Yeah. And you can go to spots that you've never gone to.
Mm-hmm.
I should do that. I think it'd be good for me.
Good chance, yeah. Dave said it connects your intellect with your emotions. So he goes like, intellectually you get everything, but your emotions aren't there.
And I'm pretty emotional. I'm a big crier.
I had a therapist ask if I wanted to do it or wanted to work with me, but then Sky broke her arm, so I never continued on. So
so I got asked 10 years ago to do it, and I said no. And then 5 years ago, no. I'm like, you're gonna wave your finger in front of my face, and it's gonna make me better. I'm like, no way, that's not gonna happen. Like, get out of here. And then David from Doing Family Right, he was he sent me a bunch of videos on how it works, and it's pretty cool. Like it's used for a lot of first responders as well.
Mm-hmm.
They use it just to desensitize to what happened. So how it works is, so for me, it'll be like David will be like, go back in your memory to when you were 9 years old. Hiding in your room after a blow up. And so you go back to your memory, and then he literally waves his finger back and forth like this for 45 seconds, and I have to follow it. And then when that's done, he says, take a deep breath, and he goes, now where'd your mind go? And I'm like, I'm wondering what my punishment's going to be. He's like, okay, go with that. And then you go 45 more seconds.
Oh, wow.
You take a big breath, and you go.
A lot of focus.
Yeah, but the funny thing is your emotions don't get involved. You're like, because you're following the finger, so your emotions don't catch up, so you can actually stay in the train of thought. And it puts your mind into REM mode or something, which is like the same thing as REM sleep. So it processes the memory and it connects things.
At some point, the emotion comes.
Oh, it came. After every week it comes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's gross. I don't know what to do with this stuff.
But then the point is that you're actually processing the emotion rather than...
I'm realizing, I don't want to share stuff, but I'm realizing stuff that's so monumentally big. Like it's massive. Yeah. Yeah, healthy.
Interesting.
But you still got to record every week, so just hop on and go. No. I'm just trying to make the point that like you don't usually know what's going on in people's lives, and there's way more than you see.
Totally, 100%. Yep.
I thought we should do a few public service announcements.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, one is on calendar.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.